What's going on, guys? My name is Ben and welcome back to another video. This is actually episode 2 of my cheap Z4 project. If you watch my reveal video where I welcomed the car to the channel, you will of course know that I picked up this 2003 3-litre auto with the private reg for only £900. Now obviously a car as cheap as that is going to have one or two problems. However, they aren't that bad, and after rebuilding the ST, this is actually a walk in the park. So what I thought I'd do is run through some of the kind of issues, get your guys' advice on how to do certain things, and yeah, just run you through all the kind of problems with the car. And then the next kind of future upcoming episodes will either be, each episode will be fixing one thing at a time. So say I fix this, that's a video, I fix that, that's a video. Or I do a fixing everything that's wrong with my Z4 video where I just address all the issues in one video. If you would prefer that, then do let me know in the comments below. But here the car is. I have given it a wash especially for this video, and it cleans up incredibly well. This car has, it's either got wax on it or it's got kind of some kind of ceramic coating, because the water just feeds off straight away, which is absolutely fantastic, really. And yeah, I can't believe how good the paint is on a car of this age and for this price. But let's walk around and we'll show you some of the things that are wrong with this car. So starting here at the front, and this is actually quite a big issue with other Z4 owners, is this passenger side headlight. Now the other one is actually fine, it's this one that's gone really cloudy. So that will be addressed, that will be sanded down with some fine grit, probably 3000 sandpaper, then buffed up with some compound, and will be looking as good as new. I actually had this issue on my first E85 that I brought. That was a 2006 model, so that was a facelift, and I had to do the exact same thing for that. So that's not too hard, that is very, very easy, and of course I will document that, because if you too have a Z4 that has cloudy lights, then you can fix them, as will I. And then also, you can't really see it, but down here, this grille doesn't quite sit flush with the bumper, so I'll address that as well, which isn't a big deal. Nice and easy. So sticking to the front end of the car, and the previous owner did mention that he believes this front strut is knackered. He said it needs replacing. However, the other night I had the front end of the car jacked up and I was wobbling around the wheel, getting the crowbar in there, checking all the bushes and things like that, just to see if there was any play or if any movement or anything like that. And I couldn't actually see anything. And then when we whacked the wheels back on, took the car for a test drive, the knocking had stopped completely. Now, I don't know if that's a good sign. I'm not sure if something was maybe not aligned properly and we managed to jiggle it back into place. The previous owner mentioned he had the top mounts changed, so I'm going to rule that out. So maybe it is the strut, not sure. The only way really to tell is to remove it from the car. Or maybe a drop link, but then again, the drop link looked fine, to be fair. And I don't know, it seems kind of all right. Maybe it's a bit soft, but I suppose my first E85 had the M Sport suspension, so it was a bit harder. So I don't know. So yeah, the best way to tell really is just to remove it, which is a bit of a faff, but it needs doing, and it could be the strut. And if it is, I'll just buy a replacement one, and that will fix that issue. Now, don't worry, even though I am now underneath the bonnet, there is actually nothing wrong with this engine. The only thing that needs to be done is I will give this car a full oil and oil filter service. I believe this car has been well looked after due to the receipts that I've got, but there is no kind of service book or any kind of receipts. In fact, the last service that is documented for this car was in 2017. So it is long overdue for a service. It may have had one in that the time from then to now, I just don't know. The previous owner has misplaced the service book and all the kind of service receipts, which is a little bit annoying, but I actually find oil services quite therapeutic, so I will get this car jacked up, drain the oil and change the filter, which very handily is on the top of this car, so very, very easy. It was a ball ache on the Fiesta. And another issue whilst I'm under here is this. This is the windscreen washer reservoir. There is actually fluid in there because I put some in the other day and it's still in there, so it's not leaking. It just doesn't spray onto the windscreen like at all. It sprays the headlights, but nothing comes out there, so most of the time I'm driving blind. Now, I did have that issue on my 35 IS Z4, and that was a very easy fix. There are two kind of filters and pumps down here. All I had to do was remove them, take the little filters out, give them a clean with a old toothbrush, clean out all the inside of the reservoir and reinstall. So hopefully that fixes the issue, and that is again another easy fix. Thanks to my previous 2011 Z4, I am now equipped, I suppose, with that knowledge of knowing that that is most likely the issue. It's holding it's holding the washer fluid quite well, so it's definitely not leaking. I would put money on the filters being the issue. Right, one of the issues inside the car, and again, if you watch my reveal video, you will remember the offensive M Performance badges on both the seats, there and there, and also by the gear stick. The gear stick one come off fine, no issues there. It's just this kind of rubbery, super glue-ish kind of residue that the badges on the seats have left. If any of you guys have any tips, or what product should I use to remove this kind of this awful glue, then do let me know in the comments below. Obviously I don't want to damage the leather, so it needs to be something quite, what's the word, I don't know, but it needs to come off essentially, because even though the M badges are gone, that just really isn't pretty, is it? And it's such a shame that whoever it was has stuck what I believe to be exterior M badges on the car. There are also, I've just seen M badges there and there on the roll hoops, which I forgot to remove. They look like they're from the wheels, you know, those little tiny M badges, so they need to come off as well. But yeah, that is although they're gone, that is really annoying me at the minute, and it just doesn't look very nice, does it? And of course this seat's got one as well. This seat isn't actually as bad. This just looks like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of rubbery paint, I suppose. That one is rather bad. Now, I'm sure a lot of you noticed this in the reveal video, and I didn't exactly try and hide it, but you're probably wondering, where is this door card? Thankfully, I do have the door card. It's in my shed. But the reason it is missing from the car is, well, there's some interesting bits in here. The hell is that? That can go back in. So yeah, the reason this door card is missing is because the cable that runs through the window regulator has snapped. So this window doesn't go up and down. As I shall see, I can literally move it with my hands. So the motor still works, because when I'm in the car and I push the window switch, I can hear it operating, and then vice versa, when the roof goes down, you can hear it trying to drop the window ever so slightly. Rather than order a whole new motor and regulator, I have ordered, which should be here today, which hasn't arrived yet, very annoying, a new cable. So plan for that, remove everything, refeed it through all the pulleys and so on, get it on, test it, and then I need to buy this kind of insulating kind of membrane to replace that, stick it back on so no water gets on there and damages any electrics. Now, someone who commented that on my previous video was actually a massive help, because it's something I didn't really think about. He said if you don't seal this up, you get water in, but it seems so obvious. But thanks to him, I now know I need to rebuy this kind of insulation stuff. I'm hoping that this is an easy repair. It's probably going to be a ball ache. I do need to remove this airbag as well, so that'll be fun. And yeah, that should be the issue, because in here somewhere is the snapped cable, if I can find it. Oh look, yeah, there it is. So it's all frayed and snapped completely, so there is no saving that. I'm just going to put that back in there. And also, if I have passengers in the car at the minute, they can't get out. There's no handle, which is quite funny. But let's just close that and pretend it doesn't exist. So the final issue with this car isn't a big one. It's mainly cosmetic. This is by far the worst wheel, by the way. And I know that this style wheel doesn't belong on a Z4, but they are kind of growing on me, only slightly. This one is by far the worst. It is very, very curved around the edge, and then a bit of paint kind of chipping in the middle and a few general scuffs. The best wheel on this car is actually the rear driver's side. That actually cleans up really, really well. However, this is one of those cosmetic issues that I, to be honest, probably won't be addressing. I don't want to throw money at this car and spend money on wheel refurbs and bits like that, because at the end of the day, the new owner, whoever buys this car, could change the wheels altogether, so I will probably leave it there. There we have it then, guys. That is everything that is wrong with my cheap £900 BMW Z4. One more thing, if this number plate means anything to anyone or anyone wants to buy it, then do let me know. The best way is probably to DM me on Instagram. I'm not sure if I'm going to take it off the car yet or sell it on the car, but of course if it's got some kind of relevance to somebody, I'd rather let them have it than let it go with the car. But anyway, that is a wrap from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget there are plenty of upcoming episodes with this car, so make sure you hit the subscribe button to follow the journey of the E85, and also don't forget to give this video a like rating. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.